Good evening. Jernine Russell here, back with another episode of Purpose Driven Life. I am really excited that I have just celebrated 3 years of the podcast. So we are hoping to have even more guests, just keep going and just hoping that it will grow and evolve in the way that it needs to. So I'm back again, as I said, and I've got a very, very, very special guest. And I've put very, 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 because I have known this woman, this amazing woman for, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think how long. I think we met probably around 2000. I didn't have any kids then. So I would say about 2004, 2005. From our heydays of raving.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
But you know what? It's funny because I haven't got a group of girlfriends, but kind of like the group embraced me and we used to go out together. But I was always drawn to you out of all of because it was a big group.
Yeah.
And as I said, I'm not used to them like a big group
Absolutely,
like that. Yeah.
yeah.
But always just loved your whole aura, like the way you carry yourself and just, yeah. Then we kind of bonded over mutual friends, baby showers, babies, partners, and it just keeps going. And I just feel like God has a way of aligning you with different people at different times of your life. So I'm really blessed that you're here.
Thank you.
Do you know what? Something that is really close to my heart is that there are some exceptional people in this world who are quite humble. They're always kind of like happy to just help and be in the background. But this platform is about shining a real light on people like that. So that is why I really, really, really wanted you to come, Lois. And I'm really thankful that you said yes. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to like be on screen.
Absolutely. That was me. Yeah.
I knew. There's a few guests that I've had that have been like that. So yes, very grateful that you're joining me.
Oh, thank you.
And I always start by saying that this is not me. This is not my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But our dad, I'm quite happy to say, he's our dad, gave me an assignment a couple of years ago and asked me to speak to people about their purpose. And he kept saying, this is for other people to be blessed, for them to be able to understand what purpose is and help people to walk in their purpose a little bit more. So this is why I'm doing it. I'm being very obedient and who knows where it's going to go.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, obedience is better than sacrifice, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I always start the same thing, all of my podcasts, by asking, what does purpose mean to you?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I didn't even let you introduce yourself. I'm very sorry.
Do.
Go on, introduce yourself first.
Oh my goodness. So my name's Lois Brown. I am a wife, a mother, a sister, a friend, and I am honoured that you, Jernine, have asked me to come and speak at your podcast, and I didn't think, I was worthy for such a seat.
What?
But the thing is, you are such a wonderful, wonderful friend, dear friend of mine. And like you said in your introduction, we've known each other for over 20 odd years. And whenever I've been around you, you're just so full of grace, so full of like beauty inside and out. And you're one of those people that I couldn't possibly say no to because you're just so lovely. And it, like I said, it's just an honour that you even asked. So thank you.
Oh, I'm just like, it's funny when people say nice things that like you just feel.
It's true.
You know what it is?
True.
I think that people shouldn't wait until people die to say nice things about
give
them.
them the flowers.
Do you know what I mean? And I think at my hen kind of day thing, we went to a spa and the room was filled with like, different women that I'd kind of, my friends and stuff like that. And I don't know whose idea it was, but they went around the circle to kind of like introduce themselves and then say some words. I just spent the whole time crying because you don't realise how people see you.
So beautiful.
It is, so it's really important. But I really appreciate that. And it's funny because the same words that you use are the same words that I think of you. Very graceful, classy, sophisticated. The way you carry yourself is like a queen. So you're
Bless
definitely
you.
worthy to be sitting here.
Oh,
And
thank
I want
you.
you to understand, and I want this to be like the beginning of you doing and walking fully with boldness into what you need to do.
Oh, thanks, Jenny. You're so kind. That's another thing, another huge quality that those people that know you or that maybe have just watched you on your podcast and stuff will see, that kindness that you have. It's not just an elegance, it is something that is like it's embedded in you. It's not something like, let me just switch this on or switch this off. So I'm grateful that you also had the opportunity for that room of people that you described to just speak into your life and actually really share how you've touched their lives. Because certainly in the time that I've known you, which I said is over 20 odd years, you know, whenever we've connected, it's like we just carry on where we left off before.
So true.
Like no time has gone, no distance has gone. And it's lovely that even my husband, you know, speaks so highly of your husband as well. And, you know, our kids are very similar ages. And so it's just, I love the way that our life has kind of been entwined along the years, like knitted in a particular way. And I think if you're going to knit yourself with a group of people or have a group of people around you, you know, you want to be with people that are kind. You know, for me, that's a massive, beautiful trait to have. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm just like, I don't know what to say.
So, let's spend the whole podcast going.
No, please.
You're
because
great.
then I'll be like, no, because I either get really embarrassed or I just start to cry. Those are the two.
Crying. Okay, we won't do
Yeah,
that.
we'll try not to, because who knows? Sometimes it just happens on here.
I can imagine. Yeah.
But yeah, purpose is something that, is really important. And I don't think I realised when I read Purpose Driven Life, the book.
Rick Warren.
Yes, this is it. This is why I named it after. I can't remember what year it was. I was in a very funny season, very, very dark season of my life. I think it was around 2017. And you kind of like, when I hit that low, it was like almost trying to search for who I was again and understand why I'm here. What am I doing? What am I doing? Am I doing the right things? Am I not doing the right things? So the book was really poignant for me. And that's why I've kind of like honoured Mr. Warren with the name of the podcast.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yes.
So it's lovely when you read a book and you're touched in a particular way, and it's just because, I mean, I'm an avid reader as well, and there's been a few books that have really just ministered to me in a certain way, and it's great that you've actually used that as the emphasis to kind of like catapult you into creating something and finding purpose in your own life. So that's so cool, and supporting so many other people, viewers that watch this and think, I just need to glean something from it. So well done.
Oh, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
So what does purpose mean to you?
Oh my God. Do you know, when I thought about this question and I was saying to my husband, I've been invited to, this podcast about purpose. And I'm thinking, I know what my passion is. And when I think about purpose, I think about things that I'm really passionate about. But you could be really passionate about something, but for me, it only becomes purpose when you actually give back. Everyone's got things that they're passionate about. I'm passionate about sleeping and eating. Yeah. But it's not really, I don't view it as a purpose because until, in the world that we are in, if you could actually give back to whether it be community, individuals, or, so on and so forth. So I think like for me, I always think about things that I enjoy doing, that even if I was never paid to do, or, it was 3:00 in the morning, what would I get up and actually do? And then I think about like, how can I do those things around that can support the world in which I live, or my community, or the individuals that I am blessed to know in my life and stuff like that. And so for me, that's what gives me purpose. It's finding the things that I enjoy, that I genuinely love, and wakes me up in the morning and keeps me up at night, wanting to do them, but in a way in which I can support others. So even like you asking me to be on this podcast, as you said earlier, it's completely out of my comfort zone. But a little voice said, you may, minister or speak to someone else that would support them on their journey in some small way. And if that's the case, then I'm like, okay, I'll do it, so yeah.
That is amazing. And it's interesting that in the 3 years that I've been doing this, and I don't even know if we've hit 100 guests yet, but
wow,
everybody defines purpose differently.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I can see that. I don't think there's I didn't even Google it or look in a dictionary, but I'm sure there's not, well, maybe there is one. I can't think that there would be one way of just living on purpose. It would be different for different individuals.
Yes. And I think that's what makes it, I think that's why I like it, because I just think it doesn't have to be like this box. You don't have to be put in this box. It can be, different for everybody else.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
My favourite thing about what you've said is that it gives you giving back to other people.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have touched on that. And that it's important. It should be blessing other people. It's not just for you.
Yeah.
It's to give something to others as well. So I never thought I could sit here and do this and think that this is actually giving back to somebody else as well.
Hugely.
But it wasn't, as I said. And I think for me, I don't think you said purpose is the things that you love to do. I don't think my purposes have been things that I love to do.
Really?
No, because when I was asked to do this,
you're like,
it
out of your comfort zone.
So out of my comfort
zone. I can see
zone.
that as well. Yeah.
I saw that I put it up on Instagram the other day because it was the 3rd birthday. I put the first episode up.
Yeah.
And to now, and then I put the last episode, and wow,
really,
it is this huge difference.
That's lovely because it's pulled something out of you.
Definitely, that's something I didn't even know.
It's caused you to stretch. It's caused you to grow. It's caused you to go to another level.
Yes,
and it's great to look back and reflect. And
it is.
Okay, albeit cringy, as you said.
Definitely.
But it's also important to kind of take time and just think to yourself, actually, look at the growth. Look at what I've been able to achieve, and it was a very small idea, seed that you sowed, and it's now grown and developed. And again, that is purpose.
Yes.
It's not just, biblically, you've not just put that seed in the ground and left it. You've actually watered it over time. And I'm sure, there's a whole production team that comes with something like this, and you've had to constantly just be at it.
Yes. I'm not going to take all the credit. Definitely Myriad Studios. They make this look really easy. Because I just turn up and then everything is kind of done.
It's not just that, because you're turning up, but you've got a husband, you've got kids, you work full time, so you're doing a myriad of different things, but yet you're still sowing that, you're still watering that seed, and it's growing.
That's true.
So
that's true.
beautiful.
But you know what? I actually prefer this.
Yeah.
Now that I've got hair, I actually really like it. This is a real happy place. I look forward to it.
Yay.
I could do this
That's
without.
so cute.
It's not like work where I have to do it.
Yeah.
This is I enjoy it.
So it's your passion.
But I love talking. I love talking to people. I'm a chatterbox. I got in trouble at school for it. So now teachers see, I knew it'd come to
Little
something.
did they know is that, you were gaining muscle.
Yes,
to do
definitely.
this.
I love that.
Amazing.
Let's not let Riley hear this, because the things that she gets in trouble for, maybe they will be her
Very
purpose as
similar.
well. But
yes, exactly.
oh my goodness, yes. What would you say is your purpose?
So I think that, again, I just I love, hosting. I love, our house. There's never a dull moment. The door's always open. There's always food left in the bottom of the pot, because you just never know who's coming. And I actually love it. I love, hosting people and just sitting down with, not being dolled up or anything, but just, messy bun, and just really chilled, loungewear and stuff like that, and just having really cool conversations with friends and loved ones. I love, as I as you know, I've got like an events management company, so I love doing decor and event styling. I love trained as a project manager by trade, so I love using that talent to actually help, put events together, whether it be weddings or community events as well. And I love just seeing something come from conception to fruition, and just putting a twist on it and seeing how people come in and they like, oh, wow, this is amazing, and just enjoying a real nice atmosphere. So there's like lots of little things that I just enjoy doing. I love people, just making people feel like at home, comfortable, to be able to share or talk or just curl up on my sofa, feet underneath tucked in underneath themselves, and just having a really cool conversation.
That's really lovely.
Yeah.
And you remind me of another guest that I have.
Yeah.
And it's mad because she's quite creative as well. She's a photographer and does a lot of weddings and stuff like that. So you probably have crossed paths as well.
Amazing.
But what you both exude is this like beautiful servant's heart. That's whenever I'm like, nothing is ever too much for you. Like, you're always giving and giving and giving and giving. And I don't mean it in a, giving is not just money, but it's your time, it's your love, it's your comfort, it's your food, it's your, do you know what I mean? And everywhere, in every kind of space that I've seen you do that. And it's not something that, it just comes so naturally to you.
Yeah, I just enjoy it. I think it's definitely one of my love languages. I don't know if you've ever read
Yes,
like
I
Gary
have.
Chapman, love languages. Say like acts of service is like one of my big ones, and I tend to operate in the service in your love language. So yeah, I get joy out of it.
Oh, that's good. It's really, I feel like it's something that is not so common.
Really? Do you think so?
Yeah, I don't feel like people do it with such, I don't know, maybe it's the generation that's coming. I just feel like they're takers. Yeah. Obviously not all of them, but
everyone's got their little thing that they're interested, that they will go after, more. And each to their own. It's not a forced thing. It's not forced on me. I don't feel like, oh my goodness, that I'm being taken advantage or anything. You'd be surprised, I get more joy out of doing it than I do than it being some sort of effort. So yeah.
Oh, that's really lovely.
Thank you.
I've worked on it, to be honest. I wouldn't say it doesn't come naturally. It comes naturally to
fine,
give and to serve. But I feel like I get to points of like, especially at home, like, oh my, you lot are taking the mick.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm going to lay here.
Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, like, the dirty clothes basket is there and the clothes are there. Like, come on.
Yeah, we don't, even at home, the boys, I've got all boys at home, and they know this is like a well-oiled engine, and everyone has to play their part for it to continue. So, yeah, chores is like, I don't do all of that stuff. Everyone knows, the routine. It's like serious structure in our house. It has to be, because we're all so busy.
Yes.
Like, my husband's busy, I am. The kids have got various different activities as well. So yeah, there has to be that structure, and that's there. And so they know, like, as much as I love like supporting and helping, there is a line.
Good. That's what I like to hear. The boundaries are there. They're clear.
You have to. Yeah.
So I have been blessed by, do you know what? I had this like vision for my birthday, for my 40th. I told you this. And it's so mad how God just comes and just does whatever he wants to do about it. So I had this whole, I'm going to be 40. I'm going to have a big party. I had the venue, everything. Yeah. Paid my deposit. COVID came. So it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that time, the vision was still there. I still had like ideas. I saw the colours. I saw what it was going to look like. But then after COVID, I just didn't want the extravagance or the scale, if that makes sense. So I then decided to have a very intimate thing at home.
Yeah.
And I kind of showed you the colour scheme, whatever. And I still look at pictures from the balloon thing that not thing. What is it called? The it was just like the most amazing,
Oh, bless you.
beautiful backdrop in all of the pictures, and the way that you're able to, it's so effortless. But I think there's so much to you, the creativity, the vision, the execution. There's so much that comes in. But you know what? I think sometimes when we're describing things that we do, we kind of like minimize it and make it seem smaller than what it is. And I think you have to remember that you're a visionary in how you do things. A whole wedding, like that's a lot to organise.
But I love it. I genuinely love just, you know, seeing, I don't know, a couple just starting their life together, and just, it is on the day, it's about the day, but like this is like a new life that they're embarking on, a new journey, and I love it, and I get excited with the whole, I love, and I get so every wedding, I literally don't know how many I've done. I still get super excited when I see like the couple look at each other as they, meet each other's eyes down the eye. So I just get really like all warm and fuzzy inside.
That is so lovely.
And then it's like the craziness of making sure that everything
goes smoothly.
Yeah, but that just kind of that look and that just being wrapped up in the whole atmosphere for me is so cute. It's so magical. It's like one of those small things, like in today's day and age, where these small little like glimpses of like magic, wherever you can find them, is just like to hold on to them.
I really love that, and I love love too. Actually,
I certainly do.
I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I think it's just a really beautiful thing. And then I start getting a little bit carried away and start, I meet someone, I think, oh, let me think of my cat, like my phone book. Oh, who can I
match that person with?
But I've had one successful pairing.
Oh, amazing.
Who are married and they've got a son. So
that's so good.
Yes.
Wow, there is a matchmaker hidden.
Well, I don't know.
That's your next purpose.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I was talking about this the other day. I don't know if you've ever watched Indian Matchmaker.
Oh, I love that.
So do I.
I love it. And that lady, she literally flies around the world.
I know.
And she's so good.
I'm
just like she'll look at some random. I mean, she does some also.
Yeah, some things that I'm not really.
Just random. Stuff. But I love that.
Yeah.
Jernine.
No.
I think I don't know about you guys out there. I think everyone needs to comment on the.
I don't think I will be. Do you know what it is? I can't take. If it don't work out, I don't want to be blamed for that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But you're not. You're just like you're doing your bit and then just allowing,
it to happen naturally.
Yeah.
I think I do think about people that are single and. Yeah, I do. It does happen a lot in my mind. Like,
as soon as we cut, I'm gonna show you my phone book, and I think I've got.
We should just do an event.
I've got some ladies that I need.
Yeah, but there's too many ladies.
Like,
that's the problem. I've only got a few guys.
No, I have a few guys. I'm just like, these guys should be matched. These girls should be matched, and the ones that I have aren't necessarily would work together. But I don't know.
Maybe
I'm going to send you their names.
Okay.
I'm going to leave.
See, this is the thing that I think about. Maybe we should do a dinner.
Yeah.
Because that's how I met my husband. Like through mutual, through a friend.
Oh, yeah, same.
So I think sometimes you just need to be at the right place at the right time, isn't it?
Yeah, wearing the right dress, having the right hair, the right makeup, the right lip gloss. We got you girls and guys. We got you.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And then you can plan the weddings after.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
That could be a whole process.
Watch this space, guys. We're literally starting a whole new business right now on Purpose Driven. We've got a new purpose in our lives. We've just created this new purpose.
Right, so then I'll be on Netflix. The West Indian matchmaker.
The West Indian. You give her a run for her money. Never say never. Listen, I want royalties because I think we've just discovered that you've got this whole new purpose in you. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm just laughing to myself.
It's gonna happen.
So all of this project management, events management, community events. I've just seen you cater. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that I've been to that just, you've been a part of it. It goes smoothly. And do you know what? That is not an easy task, you know. I got married and I had an event planner, not mentioning anybody's names.
Okay.
But yeah, that was, it's so important. It's
my
so
goodness,
important.
It is, yeah, it is.
And I think what made it work was my sister, who was my maid of honor, because whatever things was happening, there was a few things that I saw. She was on it. Best man was on it. So yeah, but
you need people like that in your corner.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
need people to see the things that you can't see, or see the things that you see that you're not able to get to.
Yes.
So that's a blessing, and that's just in life in general.
That is so true.
This is why community is so important. When I say community, I mean, like, you know, just your surroundings, like whether it be your friends or family, because that's so important. You can't do everything. You know, the Bible said it's not right for man to live alone, and not necessarily just having a wife, but having other people to share life with, to do life with as well. So that's so cool.
That is so, you know what? As I get older, I feel like my friendships and my community, my circle has become even more rich. Like, it's so beautiful. Wow. I'm so
That's
blessed.
Lovely.
Like,
so
literally. I feel really thankful for that. And it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Like, even this morning, my daughter had a hospital appointment, but I had work and I had an appointment at the same time. I had to take my son to school. And I started to get like really anxious last night. Not anxious, but like, oh my gosh, how am I going to coordinate all of this? And then I said, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Like, just ask for help. And I literally phoned my dad. Yeah. And I said, Dad, she's got a hospital appointment. It's near his house. I'll drop her in the morning. Yeah. And he just went, it was just so smooth.
That's lovely.
But I have to get better at asking.
Asking for help.
That's the bit
that is a big thing.
Not very good at.
I think that's big for me as well, to be fair. But yeah, I do need to be better at that, actually.
So maybe we just need to remind ourselves that it's okay to ask for help.
It's okay.
Definitely.
It is okay.
So all of these purposes of yours, how did you know that it was your purpose?
I mean, even now to this day, even while I'm sitting down here talking to you on the podcast, purpose driven, do I think like, is this really my purpose? Like, I'm always questioning, like, what more? Like, I don't believe this is it. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe it evolves. I mean, literally just now we've got a new purpose for you, and I'm holding you accountable to that. You know, so it's like, I don't think to myself, this is it. This is my purpose. But I just will just keep. I think for me, it's trying new things. I'm okay with failing. I'm okay with not getting it right. I think for a long time, I would just constantly putting myself out there, but I'm almost like slowing down a little bit, because I was pushing myself sort of like in my career, in like businesses and things like that, and I was actually realizing that I was getting a lot of like my worth from doing things, and I am a doer. Like you said, I do love serving, but I wanted to stop making it be. I was getting to the place where I was thinking, am I doing this for myself or for my purpose, or what is actually driving it? And I kind of went through towards the end of last year and really kind of doing some more reflection on myself and, you know, why I do the things I do and, you know, what started it. And I remember thinking when I was, you know, even just now when you introduced me, you're like, oh, introduce yourself. And it was like, well, hi, I'm Lois, I'm a wife and mom. And I started reeling off things that I do or who I am, you know, but to, you know, I'm a wife to my husband, I'm a mother to my children, I'm a, you know, work, you know, I'm career with, and it was all of these titles. I'm thinking, but who am I? Like what? And so this is something I really tackle with. Like a lot of people like yourself will be like, oh, you know, I've seen you do some amazing things, and you know, you're a property investor, you've got businesses, you work full time, and all this stuff. And I done some reflection towards the end of last year, and I remember a time in my life when I was a lot younger, so it's like nearly 20 years ago, more than that, in fact. And my mum became ill the first time. She had sadly got cancer, and I just started university. So this is, like 30 odd years ago, without trying to give away how old I am. And I remember having to drop out of university because although my dad, well, then my parents were, happily married for, 30 or 40, nearly 40 years before they passed. And I remember dropping out just to kind of help support around the house, help my mum, being the only girl. I've got 3 brothers, but, it's different when your daughter is looking after you than it is your sons and stuff. And shortly after, mum kind of recovered from that. But it was just too late to kind of do the whole uni thing. And I remember thinking to myself, I need to really go hard. I need to make sure that because I didn't complete uni and haven't got my degree, that I'm making sure that I'm putting things in place and I'm, being entrepreneur and I'm pushing to, own properties and, have businesses and, go try and climb the career ladder and doing all this stuff. And I realised, which is great, but I realised that last year that I felt like I was more being dragged into doing these things. Although I enjoy it and I'm grateful for all those opportunities, I felt like I was more being dragged into doing that to like almost prove something cool because I had this trauma of like not being enough. You've never, you've not got a degree or you've not got a such and such like other people. You need to prove to the world that, you are someone and you can do this. And I've come to realization that I was doing a lot of that stuff out of trauma and not out of this is where I want to be, this is what I want to do, this is my purpose, this is what I'm enjoying doing. And it doesn't mean that now I'm going to just, sell everything and just, live, just go back from scratch. I love that, the life that is allotted me and, it's all about learning. But it's definitely made me think, like, what do I really want to do? If it's not to, prove to the world that just because I didn't do this and I can still be someone. And so I'm really going through this journey. So I don't want to come on the podcast and be like, this is the purpose of my life. It's like, I'm still working this thing, guys. I'm still trying to dig deeper. I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to better understand, what it is that really makes me tick and what it is that God really wants for my life as well, to be fair. So, yes.
I've got so much goose pimples.
Oh my goodness.
That's what happens. That's
really?
Like the Holy Spirit's confirmation with something. And I think it's because I resonate with you. And I think what I was talking about when I was saying about that low time of my life, I don't know how to explain it. I remember my first book launch, I wrote this like piece and I was too scared to read it. So my sister read it out and it was talking about the journey, the life journey. And, you kind of, you're born, you go to school, you go to, secondary school, you go to college, you go to uni, you get married, Okay.
Yeah.
So I did it in all the different orders that I did it in. Yeah. And then I got to a point where like somebody asked me, are you happy?
Yeah.
And it's like someone just came and went, pow. Yeah. No one had ever asked me that in my whole life.
You were just on this trajectory.
I was on this journey. The thing for me, because my husband and I were together for a long time before we were together 15 years before we got married. So I always thought that was the missing piece. So I was kind of going to work towards that next thing, that next goal, and I got married and then somebody asked me that and I was like, I couldn't answer the question because I didn't feel happy inside. Because you could literally tick all these society's boxes, but it's an internal thing.
Absolutely.
And I feel like as women as well, our success is measured on so many things. Men, it's usually like what car you drive, how much money you earn. Do you know what I mean? If you still got a hairline intact. But with women, it's like, have you got children? Have you got a career? Have you doing this?
And it shouldn't
Are
be
you
that
snatched?
way
Are you,
at
do you know what
all.
I mean? What's your hair like? Or it's
It
like
shouldn't. It's just terrible.
all of
It's
these
absolutely
things.
terrible. Yeah.
But you know, for me, when I hit that low,
Yeah.
I just started to discover who I was again. I literally went back to basics.
Enjoy
like,
your
what
own
do
company.
I like? What do I
Yeah,
like?
I
What
love
makes
that.
me tick? Like,
Yeah.
is it this? Is it? So I literally wrote a list of passions.
Yeah.
I wrote a list of all the places that I wanted to travel in the world.
I love that.
I had counselling for quite a while.
Yeah.
And literally been on this journey of like learning who I am.
Yeah.
And loving who I am.
Yeah.
And I think along that journey and turning 40 gets you to this place of like, I don't know, I just feel so different.
I love that.
It is a different feeling.
I love that. Yeah.
I don't really care what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
As long as my dad is happy with what I'm doing. Like, seriously, if God like this tells me, you know what, Jernine, you need to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because he knows better than I do.
Yeah. And you can just like, and you know, past experiences have taught you that if you just jump, you know, you'll learn to fly on your way down as well. I recently, well, not recently, a couple of years ago, remember writing a letter to my like 7-year-old self, and it was so liberating. And it's like thinking to myself, if I knew then what I know now, like there were so many things, so many more things I would have gone after. There's so many things I wouldn't have worried about. There's so many things that I wouldn't have second guessed myself about. And I'm just thinking, like, I remember writing it and thinking, like if she was reading it now, I'd be like, just do it, just, you know, don't worry, don't stress, like these things will happen. I'm not saying it's an easy road, like having gone through the things that I've gone through with, you know, losing both my parents, you know, miscarrying twins, and just going through so many different things as so many other people have gone through, you know, trials and tribulations and stuff. But I remember just thinking, looking back and thinking, just do it, just get on with it.
It's
like,
so, do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just, you said that and I'm just trying to visualize myself at 7.
Yeah.
Like, I literally, I can think of 5.
Yeah.
I need to find a picture of 7 because I can't think. I can think of 8 when I got the big teeth, but 7 is before that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to picture myself. And they say that when you're 7, that's when you're fully, you become like your personality and everything is who you're going to be.
Oh, wow.
Psychologically.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, one of my colleagues told me this years and years ago. He used to work with young people. So, and I was like, I looked at my kids and thought, if that's how they're going to be, gosh, I've got some work to do. But I think it is, my 7-year-old self would definitely be very proud of myself.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Jernine, you've just, literally, you've just smashed it in all areas. And, you know, you should so be proud of yourself and everything that you've been able to do and achieve. And just, you know, as you was just talking and you were just saying, you know, where you was at that stage in your life with, you know, depression, all the rest of it, but actually even just seeking help and getting counselling, that alone is like a step that not a lot of people take. And that's a massive step.
Yeah, you know? Do you know what? I speak so openly.
It's okay not to be okay. Definitely. And I need some support in this space. So that alone is huge. So,
I don't think we talk about it enough. I say it so openly all the time because I feel like it will free somebody else.
Oh, yeah, no.
And literally, I think I've always wanted to have counselling, but I always thought I haven't got enough, I haven't been through enough to warrant it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think of, you know, sometimes the clients that I've worked with and they've been in care or they've like had really traumatic lives. And I was like, in my mind, there wasn't enough trauma to warrant it.
Sort of like, that's the kind of the wrong message that is out there.
Definitely.
That you need to be some sort of like real massive traumatic. Sometimes it's just talking things through.
Definitely.
Sometimes, admittedly, when I started having counselling, it was following, you know, the passing of my mum. Suddenly, literally 2 weeks before we were going to get married, my mum passed, and it was like, oh my goodness, like I just didn't even. That was massively traumatic. And I think, you know, burying her the Tuesday and 4 days later, walking down the aisle and starting this new life was hugely traumatic. Then shortly, a few months later, my dad passing and me miscarrying twins. So admittedly, my introduction to counselling was through a serious or traumatic things. But I think the misconception is that you need to have gone through some of that stuff, or being grown, like you said, grown up in care, and being subjected to various different abuses or anything like that. But I think it's okay for people to just like speak to somebody else that's not in your immediate family or not in your immediate group, and just like, this is how I'm feeling. Can I just talk to you through these things that are in my head that I just need to kind of get out, and have somebody kind of help me work through, or compartmentalize some of this stuff, because it just gets too much. Gets too much.
For me, it was trauma that kind of triggered it anyway. But I think for me, it was like a jigsaw puzzle, like where the pieces just started to come. That's what counselling did.
Yeah.
So all of these,
it's beautiful.
It might have been something from when you were a child, and then an incident from, in your adult time. And it's like, I can't even, it's so visual, but there was like this literal like aha moment in like the first time I had counselling, when it finally, oh my goodness, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then I said to my friend the other day, I would really like to just have counselling, maybe like every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Just to kind of
just
have someone who, because I've got good friends, and I've got a lot of friends who are actually therapists.
Yeah.
But I just think it's nice to have someone to kind of share what's in your head, that you don't have to reciprocate.
Yeah.
Because with your friends, I'm a good listener.
Yeah.
But you always feel like you've also got to give them that space.
Yeah.
It sounds a little bit
and
selfish,
you
but
just want to offload.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
I
just
do,
want to
without
say,
no one saying,
do you know what? I just need to share this stuff with you, just to get it more than anything else. Just get it out of my head, and just listen. While I kind of try and or help me to navigate like this situation, or my life. That's all kind of got all a bit much. I think there's so much beauty in it as well, and I my hope is that more people would actually see the benefit in it, and not think to themselves they need to wait to some humongous traumatic event for them to actually say, I just want to speak to someone. I just want to have a conversation.
Yeah,
it's
good. So we're advocates for counselling and therapy. It's just definitely. I think everybody should have it. Definitely. I was going to say something about it, but I'm going to continue with our questions. So tell us a little bit about the steps that you've taken to get to where you are in terms of your purpose journey, which is never ending.
It really isn't. I think, like I said, I've not really got to my purpose. I don't want to think that. I'd like to think that I will never get to that place. I want to think that there's always going to be something else that I want to go after, something else I want to learn, or I want to remain curious about everything. I love learning. I love like learning from people as well, like going on YouTube and listening to podcasts and seeing other people's journeys, and what took them there, and how they managed to get to the higher accolades of society, or whatever the case may be. So I think for me it's not really like, how did I do it? I just think I would say to just remain curious, remain open, remain eager to learn. I think when you get to the stage where you think, oh, I don't need to, no one can tell me anything, I don't want to learn anything, like I'm good, is like you then start dying, like not necessarily physically, but inside. I'd like to think. I think there's just the world that we live in now is constantly changing. And I learned so much stuff, not just from, people I see like online or on TV or anything like that, but my kids teach me so much. Just things they come out with, just keep me, just in awe of wanting to like learn a bit more, whether it would be the next TikTok video that I want them to teach me, or whatever the case may be. My stepson's got 4 kids, so we sometimes have the grandkids over now, and just sitting there watching them get up to their crazy antics just keeps me, it's better than any TV program, really just being present. And being part of their lives. So I can't really answer your question in maybe the way that you wanted
I think you
it.
have. I think
it's just about being curious and just wanting to learn more, see more, experience more as well. For me, it's really, like I was mentioning towards the end of last year when I was kind of coming on this realization, I think one of the biggest things for me is just being more present as well in like my kids' lives and just with my friends and family, really taking that more, being more intentional in that space. Like you were saying, oh, I saw you out and you was with that group of people. Like for me, like being really intentional with my time in being supportive of those around me and friends in my circle. Yeah, that's really, really important.
Yeah. And I think the steps of a righteous man are ordered by God.
Yeah.
But I don't think your steps are your steps.
Yeah.
And I think that, some might give a timeline of, well, I did this and this and this. But your steps are still really tangible and they're still helpful to somebody in terms of the curiosity and, the learning. And I love learning. I love learning new things. I've got so many books to read and, I'm watching new podcasts that, I might go and meet someone and they say, oh, have you listened to this one? Or, so I think it is just, it's not always through going to university that you learn as well.
No, 100%.
And one of the things that I emphasize to my children is I really want them to be able to find what they love and what their passion is so that they can do something that they love, not just go to work. So that is what I kind of encourage them. The other thing is you don't have to follow this thing of doing this or going to uni and whatever. It's not for everybody.
No, I totally agree. It's not. Even one of my sons the other day, when he was started, he's 19 now, and like last year when he finished school, and then he went on to college, and then was like, right, you want to do uni? We're ready. It's fine. We've kind of made allowances for you to kind of, if that's what you want to do. And he's like, I just don't want to do it. And we kind of went back and forth talking about it, and eventually we just said, like if that's not what you want to do, and he's loving it. He's on doing an apprenticeship now, like apprentice degree, and he absolutely loves it.
Good.
And I was at a very pivotal place where I was almost forcing him to do something, almost like to live the life that I didn't live.
Yes.
And I was like almost imparting that on him. And I was like, what are you doing?
It's good that you were aware of it, though.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many people who
go and live out my
live
dream.
their dreams through their children.
Who am I?
I see all the parents on the sideline when my son's playing football, and you just think, oh my goodness.
The pressure, yeah. I don't want to be that person. So, so he's just doing these things. But, it was a point where I actually stopped and be like, why are you... like keep having this conversation with him? Are you trying to get him to live out some sort of dream that you didn't? And it's not. And in hindsight, it definitely wasn't. It wouldn't have been the best fit for him at all. So, and that's the fit that
as parents. To me, that's what makes a good parent, is that your children.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've got 3. They're so different.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? I'm here. They know I'm their number one supporter, whatever it is that they want to do. But I'm also going to point out the things that they're really good at.
Yeah.
And the things that they're passionate about.
Oh, amazing.
And, my Ray is my middle child, and she has got this like passion for food. Like she's exceptional. Her palate in cooking. I'm just like,
send her to my house, please.
She can come. She is just. And I said to her, look, but then she started doing she chose her option to do psychology.
Yeah.
She's really loving it at the moment. So she's found this subject, and she loves, like, we watch oh my gosh, we watch too many crime things. They're always watching a crime thing. It's my fault. No, all these like the Met and all these kind of like investigations of crime. They're obsessed with it. Stuff. But I think it's me. I've been like that. But she loves anything
I love
to
a
do
crime
with cooking.
documentary. It's crazy.
So she's got the cooking, and she likes to analyze like human behavior as well.
Yeah.
So I said to her, listen, just roll with it.
Yeah.
You like cooking, cook.
Yeah.
You know, do that,
Yeah.
whatever. So like she used to play football for a long, long time, and she gave it up, and her dad was devastated. And I said to her, listen, if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
But on the weekend, know that you need to do something.
Oh, yeah.
So
The
now
whole
I
laying
give
in
her a
bed
little
thing is-
task every weekend.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? What are you going to make?
Yeah.
What are you going to bake? Or what are you
That's
going to cook that's
lovely.
different?
Yeah.
Choose something, a recipe that you
stretch her a
haven't.
bit.
Just to give her something
Yeah.
to focus on the weekend
Yeah.
instead of just staying like this.
Yeah, on the phone scrolling.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
so
amazing,
yeah.
Jernine.
The other one was like Riley was so convinced she was going to be like in law, a barrister. So I encouraged her to go to a Crown Court for her work experience. And now she's kind of like said, nah, I'm not
doing
interested.
that, yeah.
But I'm glad
Yeah.
because now it's like
At least
you've
she's
been in
seen.
that environment, you've seen what it's like,
Yeah.
and now you can make an informed decision about
On
what
what-
your next
Absolutely.
thing
That's
is going
so
to be.
good.
So yeah.
So good.
And Roman's still working out what he's going to do.
Oh, he's so young.
He's a bit of an
I mean,
all-rounder,
it's-
that one.
And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
You know, and that's absolutely
Yeah, no,
fine. They'll find
definitely.
their way.
But whatever they do,
yeah.
I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
behind them 100%. And I think sometimes it takes us a long time. Sometimes we don't find what our thing is until we're adults.
Oh, goodness. Like I said, you were asking me what my purpose is. I'm still trying to figure that out along the way, but I'm enjoying the journey.
Yes.
You know, and that's the difference. It's like we're not at the end, but I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying being curious. I'm enjoying finding out more and learning and, you know, and taking more on,
Yeah.
you know, and letting go of some things as well.
And
So
that's the thing.
it's certainly a journey.
Yes. The letting go.
That's been that has been blessing my soul. I'm telling
Really?
you, yeah, because we could just get into just taking on more and more and more, and that, well, for me, is not my purpose. I
Yeah.
can tell you that without like having a nervous breakdown is not my
No, that
purpose. So
isn't.
yeah, the whole letting go thing has been something that I've had to do intentionally. As well to kind of get to my why. So I just feel like that's do more of that. Do more of letting go.
Yeah.
And being intentional about that as well.
That is, you know what?
Yeah.
I was listening to Stephen Bartlett, one of my favourite podcasts.
Oh yeah, Die with a CEO.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He is
like,
amazing.
Yeah, really
like
is.
the
He's
most
a very good listener as
Yes.
well, and a really great. I love his interviewing style as well. He
it
just,
is.
I get so much out. Again, learning
Yeah,
from.
I
from
learned
that.
so much from watching because he
Yeah.
has like really different guests.
Yeah.
He's like very
Some really cool guests,
empathetic.
like-
Yeah.
Like sometimes sorry to cut
That's all right.
you because you're trying to land a point, but it's like I watch sometimes his podcasts and just think, you know, if this was like a university education or something like that, you'd be paying hundreds and thousands of pounds to listen to these guests and get all of this free, get this content for free. So, you know, hat off to him. you
Yeah,
know,
no, I
give people
definitely.
credit where credit's due. But sorry, continue.
No, what I was going to say about him, I'm trying to remember now. He, his podcast. What was it? It was right on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, so sorry.
It will come back to me. I was talking about him.
We have to rewind and then like listen.
It will come back. It will come back. I was talking about how much I learned from him.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He has written a book.
Mm-hmm.
He's written 2 books actually. I'm reading the first one, Happy Sexy Millionaire, and the second one is
The recent one that came out.
The Diary of a CEO. The steps. He has chapters about like leading to success. But one of the things that they were talking about the other day was how important quitting is.
How you need to just do it quick
And
move.
I was just like, he's got a formula. I'm not going to go because you need to watch
Yeah, I
his
have
podcast to
read the book. Yeah.
But one of the things that he spoke about, I was like, we're taught not to quit things. You know, like, no, you can't quit. Blah, blah. And he said, no, in life you need to quit.
Yeah. And quickly.
And you need to do it quickly
Yeah.
to know what you need to put down. And not
to waste
quitting
time.
for the sake because it's too hard,
Yeah.
but quitting because actually this is not going to actually
Yeah.
amount to anything, or
Yeah.
it's not
serving
purposeful, or
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really good point for me, and I thought, wow. And I think about just random things that I've done over the years, and I was doing this little family disco called Love Bop a few years ago.
Oh, how cute.
And I'd gone to like this thing with the kids, and I was like, oh, this is I like the community feel, and getting everyone together. Dancing makes everyone feel good.
Yeah.
And I did quite a few events, just in my local community in Waltham Forest.
Yeah.
And my kids were really small, so it helped because I could just bring them with me and just have fun or whatever.
Yourself, yeah.
And I was in one of them, and I was like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing.
You just knew.
This is not me. This makes me feel uncomfortable in a different way. And I made the decision not to do it anymore. And I'm really glad I didn't. Yeah. But I don't think that anything we do is wasted, because God, it's like he's preparing you for the next thing. So I'm planning these events, having to get a venue and like, coordinate all of these things. So then moving on to events now, I know about all these different venues and like,
you've learned from it.
So there's so much that taught me in that time, but it definitely wasn't for me. So yes,
that's so good.
It's good to
I
quit.
agree. Like, too many people know that this isn't the right. That's why I kind of like take my hat off for you in that situation, because too many people kind of get that inclination. They kind of have a feel, this relationship's not going anywhere, or this job is not where I should be, and or whatever the case may be, but they just kind of pull it out, just stick it out. And so I love that theory that you mentioned, and I'll have to definitely read the book. You've sold it to me,
definitely,
because I truly believe, like, if you're not in the right place, then just stop, take a recheck, and then change direction. Jim Rohn is like an amazing, motivational speaker. And one of the things he says quite a lot is like, you're not a tree.
I love that. Karen always talks about that. That's
but it's so true. Like, even
you are not a tree. You can
move. You can
move.
If you're doing something and you're not happy about being there, or in a relationship that you don't think's going anywhere, then you're not a tree. You cannot. You can get up. You can move. You can change directions, and start again. So
I feel like you're talking to me a little bit too hard right now, Lois.
No.
Not with definitely not relationship, but definitely work wise. And I felt like that for a long time. And and it's like, you get not comfortable, but you get stagnant.
It's easy to be. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's easily done.
And I think for me, the reason that I can or have stayed so long, I think, is because I do so many other things. And I get the joy from that. That's just like kind of ticking over, if you know what I mean.
You've got like the whole creative part.
I need to have the
over,
creativity, because I didn't have that for many years, and it's like a part of you that's missing. Now that I've like exercised that creativity again, there's no way I'd ever stop, because I think it just gives you that kind of
so much joy from it.
Definitely.
I can see you're like literally glowing.
I really do get joy from creating things. So it's really it's amazing that you can have a conversation and have so many things in common. The people that we listen to, the kind of creativity being really part of it, children, husbands, there's so much to it. But my encouragement would to continue to learn and discover all of the things about you that you haven't yet discovered. Because like when you date someone, you meet you get to know them, and you learn different things about them. But we don't do that with ourselves, because you're spending all that time investing in that relationship, bringing up the children, working, whatever, and it's like, actually,
yourself, yeah.
you're your only person that you're going to be with for the rest of it,
Exactly.
for your whole life.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's definitely something that you need to do. And even I say that, and I like spending time on my own.
Yeah, I do.
I love my own company. I never used to love my own company. I love my own company.
I like it. I love, you know, I was having this conversation with my husband. We've been married 20 years next year. And, you know, we were talking the other day about like our journey, and like we literally have like changed so much. You know, he's known me from, you know, being out with the girls in the club to, you know, without having children, and then like, you know, we've had children, so now he's seen me as being a mum. My stepson's got, you know, 4 kids now, as I mentioned, so now he's seen me as being a grandparent. He's seen me, you know, in work, out of work, with businesses, without businesses. He's seen me with my parents losing my you know, so like it is a whole journey, and we kind of were speaking about this, and you know, we've changed, and we're, you know, about to embark on a new journey of menopause.
Oh Lord.
Where's my fan? Like, literally, where's my fan? You know, and again, it's just like another like thing to, you know, so when it's never really stagnant, and you know, if you get to know yourself, because you're constantly evolving, you know, you're constantly being a new person or bringing something else to the table. Absolutely right.
The joys of being a woman sometimes. I'm telling you, that M word, man. Yeah, I'm not even, I don't know.
My goodness.
I've just gotten back myself.
Yeah.
After having 3 children, because you know, something happens mentally, emotionally, physically.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, okay, we're back. Yeah, you know, I'm liking who I am, and then you're going to tell me that I've got to change again.
Like, just enjoy the journey.
I'm enjoying where I'm at this moment. When that happens, then I'll have to deal with it then.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So my final question.
Sure.
What advice would you give to someone who is looking for their purpose?
Oh my goodness. It's very similar to your prior question, and it would be to immerse yourself in different experiences. You won't know what it is you enjoy until you do it. In similar vein as what you was mentioning about the kids, and you know how, you know, they try different things, whether it be cooking or football or law. You know, I would say to people, just enjoy different experiences. You know, on the weekends, you know, go and take a floristry course, or I didn't know that I would like flowers until I started. You know, I once did a floristry course and absolutely loved it. Loved the creativity of it. Loved the kind of the whole, you know, I could literally lose myself in putting flowers together. And now it's a full-blown business that makes money and supports the community, you know, in which I serve. So, you know, just try different experiences until something sticks, you know, and then you think, I want to do a little bit more of that and a little bit more of that. And out of that, when that passion starts to grow, you know, that's when your purpose will then grow, and you'll find ways in which, how can I now use this new thing I've learned, or this new thing that I'm into, to build, make it bigger, grow, help support others, whatever the case may be. So I would just say, just really expose yourself to different avenues, different events, different paths, people. Yeah.
I love that. It's so simple, but so effective.
Oh yeah.
And I think sometimes it just helps people to digest it in that simplified way. And I think sometimes we make things so deep when it doesn't need to be. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. And you just don't know, like, until you try something. I remember, like, and this, like I said, going back 20 odd years, and I remember looking for wedding dresses, and I kind of like had in my mind like the dress that I wanted to wear. But, you know, the lady in the shop, she kept saying to me, you've got to try different styles on, because, you know, you've never worn a wedding dress before, so you never know what you think you like isn't. And she was absolutely right. And the dress I went for wasn't at all what was in my mind. But there was something about when I, you know, tried it on, I was like, I actually love it. I love the feeling. I love the look. I love the, and so it would be the similar, you know, my advice would be just try something new. You might think, oh my goodness, I don't think I'd like car racing or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But, you know, try it. See.
You know what? That is
You know,
such. I
worst
think
case
that
scenario, you've wasted a weekend
that is
and a
such
couple of quid.
good advice, and I think we stop trying things, don't we?
Yeah.
As we get older.
I mean, life does get in the way, but like you've just got to remain open. You've got to try, and then something inside of you will just like.
It's so
like
true.
That. Yeah,
that little feeling.
that feeling. Yeah,
definitely. You know what? This conversation has just reignited some stuff for me.
Yay.
And it's like not the matchmaking.
The matchmaking thing.
Nah, I feel like maybe we can collaborate. I think
I'd love to.
I think
not about matchmaking though.
Not the matchmake. I wouldn't like. The only thing how I would do it is just to have like a meal or something or an event where those people are there, not to like say to them, oh, it's going to be a singles thing or what, do you know what I mean? But just a nice thing that people would come and dress up and enjoy themselves. And then, you know, if it happens, it happens. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely making me think about some things to do and not to do. And and just try and, my thing has been for a little while, I've been looking for a sewing course. Yeah. So I have been really looking for the sewing course, but, and my Jamaican gran, I always call them because they're, one's Trini and one's Jamaican.
That's cute.
I have to define them because they're very different.
Yeah.
So my Jamaican granny, I said to her, oh, I really want to learn to sew. And she said, oh, I've got my sewing machine here. Yeah. I didn't even know that she sewed.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So I was like,
every Jamaican granny's got a singer in the cupboard somewhere. They're not Jamaican unless they do.
I never knew that about her.
Yeah.
So that's what she used to do. That was like one of the ways that she had a way of making money.
I love that. Yeah.
So she gave me the sewing machine. Yeah. So I actively look for the course, but I need to find the right one.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and then my daughter is really interested as well. So we've got to, over the weekend, get the little bobbin and try and get this thing working.
So nostalgic.
Because I love clothes. I love fashion, but I don't always like what's in the shops.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I just like, for my birthday or like every time I've got a big event, I always design something.
Oh, amazing.
But so I'm just gonna, it's just for me. I just like to wear things that no one else has.
No, absolutely. I remember my gran used to make, she had a little Singer sewing machine, my Jamaican gran, and she would make our little petticoats. Oh, I don't know if you used to wear petticoats underneath your school uniform. Do you even wear petticoats anymore? I don't know.
Definitely not.
Someone's gonna have to comment.
I don't know if I had a petticoat. My gran used to wear a petticoat. Yeah. Under like a nice
underneath
dress.
Your dresses.
Yeah.
No, she used to make us wear them underneath our school dresses.
Really?
It was like a thing, you know. And then when I got a bit older, then it was like I could have like a separate one. So I had like my vest
and a slip,
and then a slip. I graduated from a petticoat to
oh my God, we sound like two grannies.
I felt so grown. So if you could make me a slip and a petticoat when
I learn,
that
should be quite simple.
I'd be very excited.
Okay, I'm good. You know what? I'm going to make a mission. What's on this weekend? Oh, it's my son's birthday, but I'm off for Easter, and I'm going to take myself to Wolferside Market, get some little material. And get the little things that I need and get this thing going. Yes, and that's the start.
Yes,
Let's see.
I love that.
Next thing I'll be wearing my designs.
I want to see it. I want to see the petticoat and the slip and the designer outfits.
That is so funny.
Let's
petticoat.
Make it happen.
That has just warmed my heart. I didn't even. I've forgotten about petticoats.
Oh, I love that.
I'm going to phone both of them tomorrow. Do you remember when you used to wear your petticoat? So. We have come to the end of our questions. I could be here for hours with you, Lo.
Thank you for inviting me. This is so cozy, actually.
It's so lovely.
It's so lovely to just talk to you.
Yeah.
And just to share and listen to, your pearls of wisdom as well. So thank you. Very generous of you.
I feel like this is the beginning of I'm watching this space with you because I really feel like there's something brewing.
Wow.
Yes. And definitely,
I receive it, I think.
you come on, you even mentioned it when we went to the Karen's thing the last time.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So that's exciting.
So yes.
Yes,
excited.
accountability.
Accountability.
Yes, so
okay, yeah.
You
just
know what
being
I'm talking
brave.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just put myself out
and that's
there.
the thing that I said. That is what I'm going to leave this podcast with.
Sure.
Because one of my gifts is encouragement.
Oh,
And I never knew.
it's
Someone else, one of my husband's friends said, "Oh, what do you mean you didn't know that?"
You're
I said, "I didn't know that was a gift." That's very it's so boring, isn't it?
No,
I thought
it's not.
I should be like singing or dancing or doing
The world
something.
needs more people like that to just let people know that you can do this.
Yes,
like,
and
go
I
out
think
into the
that
world.
I kind of own it now.
Yeah.
Because I looked in my phone when he said that. This is a couple of years ago. When I looked at my phone and saw messages, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's right. That's what I do. Like, come on, go for it or whatever."
Yeah, little
But
cheerleader.
I am a little cheerleader. Haven't got the moves, but I've got the voice.
I'm gonna get you the pom poms.
I think this is the beginning of like the evolution of you.
Oh.
And just go for it.
Oh, thank you.
And the things that you need to let go of, and the things that you're scared, just do it scared. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Anyway, yeah, that's true.
Definitely.
Susan Fuller's book, I remember I've read that one time before.
I've read it, yeah. So we are going to keep in touch, and I'm looking forward to watching this journey, and we'll have our little whatever it's going to be, a little gathering for the people them.
Let us know if you want us to hook you up, guys.
My gosh, that is so funny. I am so glad that you joined us. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share and subscribe. You know I don't like to say that, but we need to. People follow some really random rubbish who've got millions of followers, and then it's like an actual podcast that's talking sense. We've got just like 100 and something. Come on, man. I want to stop working, guys. Help me out. So tune in next month for the next guest, and take care. God bless. Bye-bye.